Well, I'd like to welcome Dan Walsh, and he is a candidate for the Saddleback Valley Unified School District Board. And you know, this is election time. There are several members running for the board, and you are one of them. Welcome, sir.
Well, thank you for having me on.
It's great to have you here. I love having the candidates on from our local districts.
It's great to meet with everybody.
Yeah, it's nice. So let's get your background. I understand that you are a geography teacher at Saddleback College.
I am. I'm a geography teacher at Saddleback College, so I get the result of the students coming out of the Saddleback district at Saddleback College. I also have a child in the district, and she's in 3rd grade at one of the district schools, and so I kind of have a vested interest in the success of the school district, because not only just for my daughter, but for what I get as students at Saddleback College.
Yeah, because we all know that for a lot of folks, a lot of kids that go to the district here, the natural progression, if they don't move right on to a four-year university, is normally Saddleback College.
That's correct, yeah. We get a lot of students from both this district and Capistrano.
Yeah. So you see how all that dovetails together.
Oh, I do. There's a relationship between the K through 12 and the community college district that I'd like to see fostered even more.
And is that one of the reasons you want
that is one of the reasons, yeah. It's twofold, like I said, with my daughter, but also I can see a good working relationship with the community college district as well.
And if you do get elected, you'll still remain at Saddleback College?
Yes, yeah. I'd still be.
And a lot of the board members have other jobs.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
So that's not unusual.
Yeah. What are some of the priorities that you'd like to foster within the district if you get on the board?
In really no particular order, I'd like to see improved communication with both the parents and the teachers and the staff. I realize now as a parent that I'm kind of finding out about things after decisions have been made. There's often surprises that show up in my email or announcements from the teacher that I would like to have known about in advance. Obviously budget's a concern, because with declining enrollment that we've got declining revenue from the state, and I'd like to see that doesn't affect students if we can avoid it at all. Let's try and keep those cuts out of the classroom and look for other avenues for either revenue, like working with the community college district, or to minimize the impacts on students with the losses, and also safety. The students are our responsibility in the district, and we have to make sure they're safe. At my daughter's school, there's no cell phone coverage, and that always concerns me.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It always concerns me if there is an emergency, what would happen? What would happen?
I actually find that surprising.
Yes, I do too.
Yeah. Well, that's something you can help work on if that happens.
I hope to do so.
You know, speaking of, you mentioned surprises. Well, one of the things the district has implemented within the elementary schools are standards-based grading versus the ABCD. The reason I say surprise is because a lot of the teachers, this may be a very good thing, but it was kind of put on them very quickly. In fact, it was implemented, I think, for many of the teachers a week before back to school night. And they didn't get much training on this. So a couple questions on that. One, how would you improve that so they're well trained ahead of time in implementing this entirely new system? And also, would you like to see the standards-based grades move on eventually into the intermediate and high schools?
I agree that the rollout could have been handled better.
Right.
Now, with my child being in the lower grades, that's normal for kindergarten, 1st, 2nd grade is to have the standards.
Right, you're right.
So I was familiar with it, but I was surprised that it was rolled out so suddenly, and again, it was an email or a notification at back to school night that this is what this district was going to be doing, and then talking to parents in the upper grades at the elementary school, they were just as surprised, because some of them had letter grades the year before, and now they're going to have the standard-based. So I think the district could have done a better job of rolling it out to the parents, but also to the teachers. That they're still trying to figure out how it's going to work, and the grades are due within a few weeks.
Right.
So that could have been done better. Now, should it go up to the upper grades? I don't know, because I know that one of our criteria for admittance to the colleges is your grade point average.
Right.
And how well you did in certain subject matters. So I think we need time to work on that, and I think hopefully the district has learned something from the quick rollout, that we need to do the next phase, if we do the next phase, a little more carefully.
Right, and I know some colleges do use something that similar to that, But the confusing thing is for people is if your child gets a 4 in something, it doesn't mean, that used to mean 4.0, it's an A, doesn't necessarily mean that anymore.
Yeah,
or whatever.
It's not just helping
whatever
to train
they get.
You're right. It's not just helping to train the teachers. It's going to be re-educating the parents as well.
Yeah, new math, right? Which happens every few years.
Yeah.
You know, one of the good things, but also sometimes it can be a negative thing, is over the years, and this is obviously mandated by the state, is inclusion of special needs kids in the classroom. And that, of course, runs the gamut. However, there are times, and I know this firsthand from teachers that I know in the district, and I know this firsthand from even where my niece goes to school up in the Bay Area, that you may have a special needs child that is very disruptive in the class. No fault of the child, you know, that's the way it is. However, it becomes so disruptive that sometimes the teachers get injured, sometimes the kids get injured, sometimes they have to shut down the classroom for an hour or so. And in many cases, often, I should say often, not many, they even have to call the sheriff in. Not so much to take the kid away, but just to get the parents to come in and calm the situation down. How could this be done better?
Well, my heart goes out to anybody whose family members have to deal with this type of situation, because I know it can be really, really difficult. As a board member, again, I mentioned it before, safety for the children and also safety for the teachers should be paramount. And we need to make sure that everybody's safe in these types of environments. I can only speak anecdotally with my daughter in her situations that there had been disruptive students in one of her classrooms, actually 2 of her classrooms. And they had an aide who would come in kind of as a reaction to what was going on, and then it was often too late. Right. And once they got a full-time aide in the classroom with the students, things went so much better because you could help minimize the likelihood of it escalating with somebody there and then somebody who could be dedicated to that student if an event was happening, as opposed to it disrupting the entire classroom. So I would be an advocate for A, relying on experts in the field, but also B, let's having more aides along with the teacher in the classroom, maybe co-teaching or different scenarios that have worked. But we do need to support all of the students in this and provide what's needed so it doesn't escalate to the point where it is disrupting the entire classroom. Right,
and you know, and again, it is, in the long run, it's a very good thing, but sometimes it gets to the point when that child, this is not the proper environment for them, but you've got to work with the parents that agree with that. If they don't, it can go on for months.
Yes, and I've seen that happen, yes.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about you know, some of the different types of schooling that is within the district. And primarily what I'm talking about are the magnet schools and also the charter schools. And when it comes to the magnet schools, you have ones that are specialized in the STEAM, you have dual immersion with GATES, you have the International Baccalaureate, and I think that's
it for now, yes.
Is that Santiago? No, the STEAM is Santiago. I forget where the International Baccalaureate, Linda Vista, I think.
Vista.
Yeah. So, talk to me about those. Would you like to see more of these implemented, and how do you feel about the charter schools as well?
I like that our students and our parents within the district have choices as far as what schools they can go to, including the magnet schools, because I think the magnet schools are great for parents who want to address the special desires of their family or the children or their skill set is what's going on. I mean, we've talked about it with our own household, what we would do with our child. I like those choices. I like what we've done with the magnet schools. We're using teachers whose skill sets are best suited for that, and they're looking now that they're going to be very, very successful. So I'm really happy with our magnet schools. As far as expanding it, we have opportunity maybe to do it in the arts, and so that's something we can research into and look at if that's going to be advantageous for our school, because I know there's been a successful one in Santa Ana. The charter schools, though, I have concerns, I guess would be one way to state it, about the charter schools, because sometimes they're run for profit. And I don't like that students are being used as a profit center for a business as opposed to what's the best educational process for the students. I mean, they have a place in some districts where there might be problems. I don't think there's problems in our district, but there might be other needs for students. So I'm mixed on charter schools.
Because in the charter schools, the money follows the student.
The money follows the student. The other problem is that they're not accountable. We don't know how the money's being spent sometimes. I know in Capo District they had a problem with some of the financial issues in a charter school. So the lack of accountability concerns me just as a taxpayer, and even if my student isn't going to that school, it does concern me.
All right. Again, the election comes up on the, I think it's the 6th, but
That's
prior
correct.
to that, there's going to be a forum we want to tell people about. And this is going to be a candidate forum, and this is going on Wednesday the 24th, and you're all invited to go there. It's at the up at the school district boardroom, which is off, it's called Peter Hartman Way. It's by Geronimo, it's right up there. So not far away. This is going to be happening on Wednesday, October 24th from 7 to 8 o'clock. It's done by the League of Women Voters. There are 4 candidates total, so you will be there. 2 positions are going to be open on the board because I think they revolve every...
That's correct.
Yeah.
Every 2 years, either 3 positions or 2 positions come up.
So you're going to be there?
Yes, I will.
All right.
I look forward to seeing everybody there.
All right, very good. Dan, thank you very much for coming on.
Kent, thank you for having me on.
We appreciate it, and good luck to you, sir.
Thank you very much.
All right, you take care, and we'll be right back.